It's an empowering day because we're going to continue to focus on the empowering month of December, the month of the Christ. And last week was pretty awesome for me. We sat and listened to Reverend Bob give his talk, and he so profoundly told us the meaning of the word Christ, because this is the month of the Christ. And what he related to was the fact that the word Christ is not necessarily Jesus' last name. It's kind of like having the doctorate of spirituality, and we all have it. And the word Christ, as he indicated, comes from the Latin and the Greek meaning Christos. It's the anointed one. And so this week we're going to start, and today we're going to start looking at the fact that what Jesus told us as we celebrate his birthday, and it's the birthday of probably the most magnificent spiritual teacher, profound mystic that we've ever seen on the planet. And what's kind of interesting is that this magical teacher had such a profound ministry that over the last 3 years that he covered his ministry, the calendar was actually designated around his birth. There are thousands of religions formed based on his beliefs and his teachings. There are many sacred and not so sacred events and happenings that happen because of his life and relating to his life. And one of the major things that we celebrate is the fact that he told us who we really are. He really gave us and empowered our lives if we would just do certain things. And one thing that he told us was this: the universal truth that we're all sons and daughters of a divine energy called God. That we are actually in that image and likeness, as the scripture tells us, but we are one with this divine energy because by our very birthright, our birth nature, we are sons and daughters. We are anointed with this oneness of the universe itself. Can we buy into this? Absolutely. It doesn't take a rocket science to understand the tremendous creative abilities we have when we connect to this divine energy. What he told us is that he taught us love, but he also taught us responsibility. What I love about the Positive Living Center is we teach responsibility. Granted, we have this Christ consciousness, we have this oneness with all there is, so we're powerful, creative beings. But what he said was, that which I do, you can do, and even more so. What he's saying is that once we connect and become aware of that which we are, then we can be functioning 100% of our spirituality. He said, that's which I do, you can do, and even more so, if only you would believe. What are we supposed to believe in? That's the idea. What are we believing in? Angela, you've got to believe in the fact that I'm a life form of this divine energy. That I'm not just this body. That the thing that I do more than anything else is spirituality. I think. If we're thinking, then we are spiritual, and 99% of what we do is the thought process. So our activity is more spiritual than physical. Also, if we look around us, this whole room it's a mental universe, not a physical universe. And we say, well, Angela, oh gosh, come on, get real. This is a mental universe. If you were to take an Einstein and some of the great philosophers and teachers like Bob Hanier, if we were to take and put even a chair or a rock under a powerful mic, we will see that it's alive and it's well, that it's permeated with molecules that are continually moving. It's dynamic. So the universe itself is more mental than it is just physical. And so what this divine nature of God says, believe. We have to believe that we're more than just physical. We are spiritual. We have to believe that we can actually focus on whatever it is we want to focus on, and through that focusing we can manifest in our life that which we desire. And we need to know that and believe that. Know and believe that you are the one with this divine energy, and he told us if you want something, know that you've got it. I consider the Master Jesus the first New Thought minister. We consider our belief system New Thought. Well, he was the first one that said, if you want something, know that you've got it and you shall have it. What he's saying is our universal truth, that if we focus on something, on anything, that's what will appear in our life. I have to believe that. I also have to believe that if I want to experience something in my life, then all I need to do is release my conditioned mind's negativity. You know, a lot of times we'll come up with an idea, and what happens? Our conditioned mind says, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you've done it before, you failed at it. I've got to release that, and I need to know that once I'm open and receptive to this divine energy, this Christ nature that I have, the oneness with all there is, then I relax in the moment and allow the inspiration and the guidance to flow into my life experience. That's what I've got to believe in, and that's what Jesus said. I also have to believe one thing. Omar Bradley said, set your course by the stars, not by the lights of the passing ship. What does that mean? In other words, we go to a higher level of consciousness and we set our goals knowing that we can get something done, and if we focus on it, it will be done. We know in the school system, many of us are educators, or we were educators. We know that if a student is out there in the playground and he's focusing on negative and he's angry and he goes out there with energy of anger, what happens? People want to punch his lights out. We've had this case before, and so we say, listen, that which you're focused on. I had a youngster when I was teaching a 5th grade class, and little Michael, I won't mention his last name, he became an NFL football star, but anyway. I'm not sure I did him much good because I got him to calm down. But he was always in trouble in the playground. My gosh, he'd go out there and people want to take a poke at him. And one day I said to Mike, I said, Michael, let's try something new. You're in here, I'm not going to keep sending you home. I mean, because you're in fights, that's ridiculous. There's something I'd like you to try. He said, what do you want me to try? I said, why don't you go out there with a smile on your face? Say nice things. Think the love energy. Do all these good things. Focus on that. And let's see what happens. He hadn't seen him for 2 weeks. He'd been almost every day. And his mother, during the open house, came and said, Angela, I want to know something. What did you do to Mike? I said, what are you talking about? He says, he's easy to get along with now at home. He's not always angry about everything. You see? So this Christ nature that we're talking about is not Jesus Christ. That's his name. What he was giving to us is a profound truth, that we're connected to something that's pretty special. We're connected to a dimension of all possibilities. And we've got to get that in through this head of ours. And so by being connected to that, what do we need to do to connect to it? This morning I thought, you know, Angela, one thing you've got to do is stay in harmony with this life experience that you are. You've got to stay in harmony with the idea that you are the oneness. You are the I am. You're a manifestation of this divine energy that we call God. And the thing that you need to do, Angela, is stay in harmony with this divine energy. How do you stay in harmony with this? You see? And we cut it off because what we do, something happens in our life experiences, and what do? We forget that we are one with this divine energy that rises above anything physical, that we are beyond the physical. We're an eternal creative being. And so when we're experiencing this situation, how we cut off our harmony with it is that we forget who we are. We stop identifying with who we are. We are spiritual, creative, eternal beings. And this is what Bob was trying to get across to us last week. And it was pretty awesome, I thought. Now, there are those that say, well, I denied the fact of spirituality. I know when we started PLC here, the word spiritual was a negative. I couldn't believe that. Those are spiritualists over there. That's a cult. And so we may deny spirituality. We may say, no, I don't believe in spirituality. And I don't believe that we are one with this divine energy. I don't believe all that. Well, we consider. But one thing we can't deny as human species, we can't deny that this creative energy of God itself manifests in our life and is all around us no matter what we want to talk about. And when I brought some, what do they call these, video props. This thing here, 20 years ago, Angelo, I was getting tired of carrying around a Bible and a concordance. So for $90, this has all the scripture in it. If I want to find out how many times the word love appears in this Bible, all I have to do is punch in the word love and it tells me title, verse, the whole Marianne. It's in this little thing here. Isn't that cool? This didn't drop out of the sky. You know, I didn't say, oh, I want this Bible in a technology format to show up in my life. Somebody had to be a co-creator with the divine to come up with this idea. Do you agree with that? Yes, we can. And then a few years later, I said, this is getting too big and too bulky. I want a Bible I have with me, but it's too big and bulky. No, I've got this. What is this called? Anybody know? A flash drive. It's a USB. I didn't even know. I use this all the time. I didn't know what USB stood for. I had to ask Stella, and she goes on the internet and she tells me it's a universal serial bus. Wow, that's a USB. But this little thing here, it's not this, it's this little piece up here. I plug this into my computer. What's on here? The entire Bible. The entire encyclopedia. 1,000 files. Everything I want to access. If I want to see, let's say Veronica, I want to see her information. I send her a letter, put this in, and I put a Veronica, and there it is on my computer. It's right here. Did this fall out of the sky? When some people look at me and say, I don't believe in spirituality, we don't go negative though. We say, oh, that's okay. You don't believe in spirituality. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in this, flash drive. You don't believe that you get in a car and drive someplace. Somebody had to come up with the idea of all that, how that works. You see? So what the great master Jesus, this wonderful Jewish mystic, told us is that you gotta believe. And that's the start. But in Positive Ink Center, we not only can believe, because beliefs change. So in the belief of something flows the knowingness of it. I know for a fact that if I want to enhance my life, I need to change my attitude. I know that. And I don't have to have a particular religion that tells me that. That's my nature. And we call it the Christ nature itself, which I like that. I like the word Christ nature. And here at the PLC, we celebrate this Christ nature this month. And we try to awaken ourselves to the fact that if we really want to really connect and be all that we can be, the problem in this world of form is that most of us leave this planet not using 90% of our capabilities. We are so powerful, creative human beings, and yet we're not aware of it. We don't know how to commit. We don't know how to harmonize with it. And what do? We put ourselves under the domain of the physical. That's the problem. Because when we're disconnected, when we're not in harmony with who and what we are disconnected. And what that does is it puts us under the domain of the drama of human life itself. When you're disconnected, you are absorbed by what's going on in the human world. The drama that we all go through, we all face that. We walk out of here and somebody's going to give us, I should say give us a finger, but somebody will cut us off. I have to be careful when I get hyped up here. When somebody can come cut us off and yell at us, and if we're connected, we can say, oh, that's just a passing thing. It's okay. That's the way the guy is. He's in that consciousness. What was neat is I get what they call bits and pieces. When you're a minister, you have to figure out 54 times a year how to say the same thing. And make it more pleasing to people, because this new thought belief system is ancient. It's been going on, Plato and Plotinus, and now the Master Jesus. It's been around for a long time. It's not new. What new about it is you change your thought. Bring in a new thought, you change your experience. That's what that's all about. But anyway, I got this December edition of Bits and Pieces, which gives us little tidbits of a lot of things that we can use. And it showed us how that connection, our harmonizing with Spirit itself, how it can enhance. But it uses as a metaphor the kite. Have you ever seen a kite flowing, and it's connected to the string and it goes? I used to like to fly a kite. In fact, a lot of my friends used to tell me to go fly a kite. But anyway, I'd be flying a kite. And we noticed that if the string that holds the kite that can